Uh,
Oh, it drives me mad. You're the best I never had, but I always had you through the night. Did I go too far? If I did, then I was wrong. Should've known this happens every time. When I thought we were just
okay, so I was planning on doing a little bit of modeling today, and most of it is going to be focused around HardOps, which is this pretty awesome plugin for Blender. And I'm gonna try and do. Uh, I've been looking up some, some sci-fi panels, flooring, walls, whatever, and there's quite a few different types of those out there. Um, so far, I know that the one that I like is I do like panels. So I've seen it's a pretty common. It is pretty commonly used, and with hard ops, they're actually really easy to make, and you have so many options. And of course, some of them could be done with, say, for example, um, like Substance Painter or Quixel. You can paint them, but I like the control that you get um, with the Blender, and that you also get to see the high poly before the bake, and I do like that, having that option. So um, and with hard ops is pretty quick to make pretty much anything. So um, I was looking at a couple of no, more than a couple of different walls and panels and layouts for that. And one that I liked was this one, which I felt was a pretty really cool design. You know, you have some kind of vents on the floor here, and you know, you have the, again, like I said, the panel, the panel flooring, which is really cool as well. So so I thought this would be really interesting to do. So so I'm gonna go based off of this idea, and maybe we'll throw some changes in there. Maybe we'll make the grades a little different, or we'll see. As this is pretty much going to be. Hey, Carlos, it's going to be quite a bit freestyling as far as that goes, because I don't have any concept art, or this is not part of my game. But I just wanted to showcase this plugin, which is really amazing. So. And aside from that, it's not so much just the plugin that does you know, the cuttings and additions and boolean operations, but it also comes with a quite large library of things you can insert, from bolts to different sci-fi little panel things, you know, circles, and or you know, latches and stuff like that. So so that's another aspect that I think it's really, the plugin is really worth its money. So all right, well, without much further ado, let's get into it. So I'm gonna start, since this is gonna be the floor. Let me start off. I'm gonna start off with plain. So also one of the things to mention is that since it's this plugin seems to be using a lot of beveling, I like to make this bigger than normal. So I'm gonna scale it up 4 times. So of course, probably the final size is gonna be, you know, a lot less than this. Is not gonna be 8 meters. I mean, actually, this is, I think it's 16 now. So yeah, so it's 8 meter across, and but it's gonna help with the modeling part. So we were looking at let's see, where is it? We were looking at this. So this one looks like it's split up into 9 sections. So I'll try and make something similar to this. Maybe I'll do 12. So maybe, or maybe 4 by 4. We'll see. Maybe I'll break this into 2 smaller ones. I do like the way they're you know, the corners are the same size, and then it kind of goes in that pattern. Okay, so let's let's do this. So I'll start off with let's add a cube. So, and top view. Also, I'm gonna be using this the grid snapping here, because it's gonna be a lot more helpful that way. So let's scale this, and not in the z-axis. And actually, let me turn on screencast, because it didn't stay. So we'll scale it twice to make that centerpiece, and then let's do the corners. And I'll use this one as well. So, or actually, you know what? Let me do the corners separately, and the sides as well. So let's duplicate this, move it on the X like that, move it up to that, and we'll scale it back down, and let's scale it down some more, maybe 0.9. There we go. Okay, so now let's apply the centering to the 3D cursor and do a mirror. Okay, so now we have the corners, and let's do these sections here and here. So what I'll do, I'll just duplicate this because it already has the width that I want, and let's go ahead and I'll separate it, and let's go in and turn on clipping. Use this face to join them together. I'll just remove the face. So there we go. We have these guys, and then we'll just duplicate again and rotate by 90 so they're placed right there. Okay, so now we have pretty much everything that we need to do the cuts, and to do the cuts and create those panel lines. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Let me see. Hopefully I'm not gonna mess anything up. Alright, so to pull up the hard ops menu, just hit Q, and now you have a few options to sharpen. This one, from what I can tell, it's good to use when you have maybe a cylinder or any of those objects. But then if you want to add a bevel, I start with sharp, with the C option, and as you can tell, it's added the bevel on the corners. So let's keep on adding them to the other ones, and we can come back in later and finish this off, because as you can see right now it's only 3 segments. So if you select it again and hit Q, you can set the width, so then you can make the bevel a little bigger or smaller, and by rolling your mouse key, middle mouse button up, you can increase the segments. So let's keep it at 10 and the width of 0.6. So we'll use that for the other boxes as well. So let's do this guy here. And actually, I could have duplicated this afterwards, but I guess now we'll just do it like this. All right, sharpen and width. So can't remember what I said. Was it 0.1? And let's do that, and then 10 of these guys. Good. So 10 of those, and come on, 0.1. I also have one of those ergonomic mice, and sometimes it's kind of tough to get the best control over things. There we go. Alright, and let's do the center one. And this one again, we'll do C sharpen and width, and we'll do 0.1, and then 10 of these guys. Okay, so one of the things that I'm still a little bit, let me first bring this down to the same level as the other ones, is creating these panels. I've only gotten this tool on Thursday, so excuse my my lack of initial knowledge. So let's create the panels. I'm selecting the corner ones, then what will be the floor, and let's see if we can do it via split. And there we go, we have the panel. Now the thing I don't really like about the split is that it's a little destructive. So I mean, you can't really, unless you undo, you can't really go back. So let's think of another way maybe we can do this. Let me hide the rest in the meantime, and maybe we'll come up with something that looks good for these guys here. So let's do a control minus, which will do a boolean, and then if we select this base, we can do a rebool and place this here. So this actually looks pretty good. There's sometimes, depending on how big the width of the bevel is, you'll get these artifacts, but let's try and get rid of those. So um, again, Q sharpen and Q width. So let's see, bring it down to about there. Yeah, see, it's still doing it a little bit. So that could work, but again, this is, let's see, sometimes what worked for me was triangulating the mesh, but apparently it doesn't do so well this time. Yeah, see, that's why I try to make the whole thing bigger, because these gaps would have been bigger. So let me undo out of this real quick. Hopefully we'll see how far I can go back. There we go. So let me try something else. Let's see if I just remove the bevel, and then we'll do apply the boolean. And then rebool. There we go. That looks, I think that looks better here. Probably boolean should have been applied after, or I should have done this after actually after applying after doing the bool operation. So alright, so that looks actually pretty neat. Now let's try and this what this did is it created these well, what now are panels. So what we can do is in order for us to apply the bolts easily would be to, what I will do is come in here, delete these, and then for this guy I'm just going to apply a mirror. So now applying the bolts will only be needed to be done on one of these. So let's go into this one apparently, and let's see how the bolts are gonna work. So let's do, that's a little bit too far out, still too far. Let's do 2.5 for the scaling of the edge loops. So let's go in. Let's see. Oh, my apologies. I was actually selecting the original one, so it should have been in this one. I was kind of thinking that it's off to that side. So let's just hide this. This was what the boolean was used for. So alright, so let's create the bolts, and I'm just gonna select the vertices, and there's this, and inside of the hard ops there's this mesh tool that you can create grates, you can create panels, which leads me to, we could have done it via this way, but I haven't experimented too much with it, so so I guess the slow way it is for now. So now let's do the circles, and these will be the circles for our bolts. And what I need to do is See, you have on the left side, you have an option for division count. So I want to bring that up a little bit, but I think this might be a conflict with the hotkeys for now. So I'm just gonna do it like this, and then the size will probably keep it there. Now we'll just extrude this down and make sure you have individual origins selected, and I'm gonna scale this. Don't scale it too far, because what the tool does, it actually applies an auto smooth to it. So if you go past that angle, then it's gonna smooth the surface. So hey Lausch, it's going, you know. Work is work. Okay, so I'm actually just doing a little bit of kind of a sidetrack today on the HardOps modifier for HardOps add-on for Blender. Okay, so as I was saying before, you have an option to insert a bunch of things in here. Most of them look pretty sci-fi, so hence, you know, I'm doing this sci-fi thing. So let's see. I want to choose one of these bolts in here. You do have quite a few options, so let's try maybe this one. This looks interesting. Okay, we'll scale it down to where it looks like it's into, you know, kind of plugged into here. You know, pull it down, and this one we'll just need to sharpen it to give that round edge. And let's try this one too. We'll see if we can do something to make the edges a little better. There we go. Okay, so as you can see, I already have the holes for all the other ones, because these bolts were added as separate meshes. So what I need to do, and this is a pretty cool feature of HardOps as well, you have symmetrize. So I could have just done this corner for the entire mesh, and then and you know, come to think of it, you know, I should have done it that way. But let's see if we can do it for these guys. And so I'll just join these, and I might not get lucky with this one, but I can show you later on. So you have an option in here under mesh tools to symmetrize along the y-axis. So in our case, this is not really doable for these bolts, but if I was, for example, to let me show you real quick. Hopefully it still works. I'm not sure how it's going to be after the bevel got applied. But I'm quickly going to add a cube. And this is not going to be, I mean, I'm just going to do this to show you. So we'll do a split. I guess it doesn't really work so well. Yeah, see, this is sometimes the problem with this. I'm not sure why. Let me show you on a separate mesh so I don't break what I've done already. So let's apply rotation and scale to this, and we'll add another cube, make it smaller, and let's place it in this corner right here. We'll scale it up, and then we can do this split. Alright, so as you can see, you know, it did this little, you know, panel on the side there. So let's see if we can do it on all the corners. So on the mesh tools, there you go. You have the X symmetrize over there, and then the Y symmetrize. So that's done. Now let's do it for this one. And there we go. So this is probably what I should have done in the beginning, but it might have escaped my my mind. So now once you select one of these guys, you have all of them selected, and you can go in and affect you know, the bevel width and the bevel resolution. as well as in here. So this would have been the cleaner way to go at it from the beginning, but hey, I'm sorry. I'll get better probably with time. Okay, so now let's do these bolts into these other corners. So this is going to be really easy now. I'm just going to do a mirror. So select these two. I mean these bolts here. Add a mirror modifier, and let's see. We need to apply actually. Apply origin to center mass. And okay, we have them all in place. Alright, so moving on, we have to do the centerpiece and the side ones. So let's see, actually I'm a little bit afraid because I think I might have messed up the mesh a little bit. Hopefully not too bad. Okay, so let's do, I'll remove the bevel from this one, and let's see if we can do the split. Oh yay, look at that, it works. So now so I'm just gonna use the split option, and hopefully it'll work a lot easier. Okay, hold on, just modify, I'm making this a little bigger. Alrighty, so let's do there we go. This one again is just like this one here. So so again we can delete this one at that end. So now we can just apply the mirror to this one, and once we do, actually let's try this out. Maybe the symmetrize would work for this one. So let's do our, oh no, sorry. And for some reason this is one of the things I don't understand, why this vertex is not connected to this. No clue. Okay, so let's place those vertices so we can cut out the circles, and make sure you're in. Oh, probably this was one of the reasons as well. I was doing the pivot point around individual origins and not medium point. So let's scale this up, and we'll try and place it about where the other one was. This is going to be a little bit eyeballing here, but hopefully it'll be within reason. Looks about there. Okay, so let's select the vertices. Actually, they're not. There we go. And we'll throw some in the middle as well, because why not? And let's see if we can do mesh tool, circle. There we go, we have the circles, and I can't remember what sizing that was, but we'll keep it like this. And just change to individual origins, scale it back like that, and let's insert our, I think it was, which one was it? I'm looking at it. It was this one here. There we go. And we just want to sharpen this again so that it applies the bevel to those little bore holes for the bolts. And these guys, let's select these guys here. We'll join them together, apply the bevel, and then the mirror. Oh, sorry, I forgot to, I need to join them. Usually when you select a bunch of them, it only applies the modifier to the last one. So, there we go. Actually, I want to do a bigger number on these two, 10. 10. 10. Okay, so let's try this symmetrize. Let's see if this works. We have this panel here. Mesh tool, symmetrize, X. Nope, no go there. Okay, I should have done it like that from the beginning, but that should be easy with a mirror. And there we go. You have it right there. And let's do the bolts here. And mirror. And you don't forget to apply to put the origin at the center, which is the 3D cursor. So there we go, we have him right there. Alright, so now let's do the centerpiece. And for this one I'm thinking maybe maybe change it up a little bit. I'll try and remove these here. Actually, no, I'll hide these and I'll do the centerpiece. Let's see how this works. So split. And that didn't seem to work so well. Let's remove that first. There we go, that worked better. Let's make sure we don't have a lot of issues going on here. There. Okay, good. So we'll hide all these that we used to do the cuts, and let's do the bolts as well for this one. And for some reason I'm not sure why it created this edge loop in here. And for this one, let's actually do 4 of them. It might look a little better for when we do the bake. So let's do 2 like so, and scale Y 2 point. I forgot I need to change this back to medium point. 2.5. We'll do these here. 2.5. And 2 like that. Okay, now let's get the vertices, which is this one, this one, this one, that. All the ones around the corners. And going into our mesh tools and do circle. Like so, extrude down. So we can give it that lip. And let's select me individual points, scale, and let's add the little bolt, and there it is. make this a little smaller. Right there. And since we have them all selected, I'll just join them right now. Why not? Do I need to select you guys again? Apparently so. There we go. So now we can do the sharpen and then bring this down, 0.1, this one 10, and again we need to do the sharpen on this one. There we go. And I think we can do a little bit of a bigger width on this. I think that's good. Okay, so those are some pretty big bolts. We hopefully I can find a good good material in or good texture in substance painter that would make it look some kind of a heavier metal. Okay, so what I was thinking of doing for the sides is actually we'll go into this guy here, select this edge, bring it up, and do an edge loop, and bring this edge down to here, and let's see if we can make this into there we go. And let's sharpen this up just like that. And it's starting to come together, I think. Let's do 10 of these. That looks better. Okay. And actually, let's add some piping. I don't know if for some reason I like pipes. I don't know what's up about those, but I like having some pipes in there. So let's add some cylinders and hey Polytech, yeah, it's, and you know, think of it like this. I've only used it since Thursday, and Thursday and Friday I had to be at work, so it was, and yesterday I didn't do anything with it because I was out. So basically it's about hard ops after maybe 5 hours of effective use. So yeah, it's really powerful, and once you get into it, it's really easy to use. And I've just scratched the surface right now. There's so much more that you can do with it. And again, I'm far from proficient, you know, modeler or concept artist or, you know, what have you. I mean, think about, oh yeah, it would help a ton. And for 15 bucks, yeah. Okay, now we have some interesting piping on the side there, and we can actually, I'm trying to think of if I want to, yeah, for the high poly I'm gonna do both of these, and I'm trying to think. Yeah, no, the cool thing is, you know, if you're not happy with how this looks, then in Substance Painter you can paint some extra ones. Like sometimes I end up doing, you know, painting a little bit some of the small details, and I'm gonna try and do some for this as well. Um, so for now, this is gonna be the high poly for my my project here. So and we'll go on and bake the rest. Okay, so I think I'm okay with it like that. I don't know what else I could add to it, but I mean maybe I can let's see. I'm trying to think if I'd like to add anything else to it as far as design goes. Um, but yeah, I'll just keep it like this. Okay, let's do the low poly. So in order to do that, I already have this plane, which is the perfect size. So I'll duplicate this and move it to layer 2. So on layer 2, I'm going to remove this bevel modifier because I don't need it. And let's go into here. And I'm not going to need any of these holes in here. I'm only going to need the ones that have the piping. So let's remove all of this stuff. And we need to fill them in now, so let's do and of course this is like the quick dirty way of doing things. I actually don't like it. um, but since it's just the floor, um, and the unwrap from this is gonna be, I'm gonna do a projection from view. Hopefully we'll be okay. So let's remove some more of this geometry that we don't need. What also another, and I forgot to delete these faces here. Oh, and there's another one here. Another cool thing about what's the name I was looking for? Oh yeah, this is my bad here. I was kind of thinking, why does it have so many polys? And I was about to do one of those Larry the Cable Guy, here's your sign. Or no, that's the other dude. Let's also select layer 1 to make sure that I'm going to where am I supposed to, there to that, and then we have this edge and this edge. Man, this thing sometimes is killing me. It's something to to be very mindful of, because if anything goes bad, you're more than likely gonna have to blame it on that. So and why am I still I don't know how this got applied. I can't remember if I applied it or not, but apparently I need to do a little bit of cleanup. There we go, that's better. So this is more like it. We're down to 89 to 90 faces with when I also join these two here, which I think it's a lot better number than what the other one was. And let's bring these vertices in because it's gonna it will occupy some real estate that I don't need. Yeah, so after this, so maybe in 5 minutes or so, um, once I actually made this mesh be nice, because now it's really upsetting me. Um, so yeah, in about 5 minutes, I will use the Substance Painter to texture this. So hang in there for just a little longer. Um, Hopefully I won't fiddle with this too long. For some reason it looks like this, yeah, this gets applied once you do the sharpen. Apparently this gets applied, and you get all this extra geometry in here that is completely useless. So unfortunately I might have to do a little bit of the longer route. So let's add a plane. Nope, let's add a plane. So unfortunately I did a little bit too many operations on it, and it might have got a little bit upset with me. Well, it depends, I guess, when you get it. It's believe me, it's gonna save you so much time if you do it with Photoshop. Yeah, this is Substance Painter will just blow that thing out of the water. I mean, as far as speed goes, and how fast things can be done. Okay, so let's do these little things for where the pipes are. Um, There we go. We have those. That was actually so much quicker. I don't know why I struggle with it the other way. Okay, so um, like I said, the other cool thing about um, HardOps is UV unwrap. So while right now it's not perfect, let's try and apply the bool tool. And this was gonna need a flat shading. So let's try this again. Let's do unwrap, and there you go. It's definitely not perfect, but it's quite helpful, to have that. And apparently I did another mistake. Come on. Because this one does not need. We do not need the bevel. There we go. Okay, man, that was a struggle with that low poly. I don't know why, but it sure seemed that way. Okay, so let's go ahead and mark some of these edges. Mark seam. We don't need that there. We don't need that over there. Okay, I think we have all the seams marked as needed. And let's pull up and do the unwrap here. Whoa, no. And what I like to do, because right now as you can see it looks horrible, is create a new image with a UV grid. So this way I can see how bad these textures look. So let's do this faces, go into top view and project from view. So now we have a more proper unwrap for that. Let's select everything and let's do Control P to try and arrange them somehow in here. It will be pretty tough to get them in perfect because just because of the weird shape of this object. So let's try and win a little bit more space, because this one we need to, and that's why I like using, you know, the grid, because you can see this square is not as big as this one, so you're not going to cover the same texture space. So that's why we need to make everything but this all smaller until we reach about the same dimensions. So that looks about right. Just to compare the two, I think that's where we need to be. That's looking pretty good. Okay, let's go ahead and I'll move these in place. I'm gonna try and see how well I can space those out. I'm not sure why this piece is together. Oh, I think I might have missed a seam somewhere. Oh yeah, down here apparently. Okay, so got that. We just need to separate these guys here. Oh, it must have been here. Yeah, I don't know why sometimes why it applies this. I don't know if these are the seams. I can't remember what this color was for in Hard Ops, but okay. So let's place these. Let's hopefully I can place them in these open spaces here, just so that we don't waste so much time on. I mean, so much space with the. With these guys, and we can cheat a little bit and make them a little smaller so they can fit in here. There we go. And let's get these guys in here, and always remember to constrain to image bounds. So and now we get a little bit more texture space usage out of this. Moving down a little more. There we go. I think that will do, at least for this practice run. Okay, so on layer 1, what I need to do is you know, hide all my what I used to cut things, like so. And oh, one of the things I forgot, oh wow, is the piping. For this one I'm only going to do one side, because all the ambient occlusion is going to bake from the high poly anyway, so it's going to show the darkness below it anyway, so we only need this side. And I'm thinking if I want to use all 3 pipes and to give more variety, or 2. You know what? I'm gonna try using just one, because I don't have so much space left in my low poly, and and I'm hoping that I can just rotate it around a little bit, and hopefully that will look okay. We'll see. Let's try and apply like this. Sorry, before I want to apply it, I want to reduce some of these polygons because I don't need all of that. So let's select these edges like that, and if you do a checker deselect and then delete edge loops, and we can probably do that again, but I think that will be okay. So, and once we do if we do LODs, we can cut some more out of these, but for now I'm not too worried about it. CryEngine will take quite a few amount of polygons. So whoops, I forgot to add a seam. Control E, mark seam, and then apply. So these guys, if we do an unwrap, whoops, I need to apply rotation and scale. Always do that. And let's do an unwrap. There we have it. They're kind of big. Scale them down. And let's see if I join the two, if we can. This is going to be a little bit of a pain in the neck, but we have to do it. So Polytech, my apologies, I said 5 minutes, but it's been more than that so far. So let's do our UV grid. So I'll scale them all at the same time. And I think that might be enough space to put all the piping in here as well. That looks about right. Okay, so now that we have the piping, let's go ahead and hopefully we can get to do some baking. Yeah, and enjoy lunch. All right, let's export this, and where do I want to place it? I was playing with it. There we go. I think here will do just fine. So this is going to be floor 2 low poly, and I have a preset for X normal and export. Let's go to 1, and I actually want to have both of them selected because at the moment, and this might not be so much of an issue, but I like to not have it be an issue, is the bolts are right above the surface. So I'm not sure how this is going to bake. We'll give it a try. If not, we'll pull them down a little bit. There's quite a few settings. There's some good settings in Substance Painter that would help with that. But for now, I'll place them about the same height as the other ones. Oh, and one thing that I'm forgetting is when we do the bake, these bolts, we probably want them to be a different color. So I'll apply and we'll do a color map. So all these guys, let's see if we can apply material to all of them at the same time. And we'll do maybe a blue. There we go. And apparently we need to select all of them and do them separately. So this way, when we bake the color map, we can get we can bring that into Substance Painter and apply it. We don't need one for the pipes because in Substance Painter you can select a mesh or a part of the mesh, and apply a specific one. So I think that'll be okay. Let's do um, let's do the color map, and we'll go to Painter after this. Okay, so there's that. So in here, let's move some of these, or hide some of these things that we don't need. Select all this. Select our low poly, and let's do the texture bake. There we go. As you can see, we have the bolts nicely outlined in blue. Okay, let's save this image. Save as image. So this will be floor 2 underscore ID. Save. Okay. Let's export the high poly, and this is it. We're not missing anything by the way it looks. And export this, and this is going to be HP. So one of the things that I'm a little bit concerned about is, and I should have given this a thought in the beginning, which won't be a terrible thing, but I will show you what might happen when some of these don't have enough polygons when you bake things. So let's go to Substance Painter. Yeah, some of these, especially for the normal, the bolts might look a little skewed off, so they might look like they're not centered, and I hate that, but it's something that can be remedied. So let's do a new. We have to select our low poly, and I'll keep it at 1024 for the initial bake. I'm not sure why this message pops up. I think it might be still a bug or something. Okay, there's our low poly, which looks very bland and sad. Okay, let's do the high poly. We don't need the ID because we already baked that. And let's do a quick bake and see how this turns out. Yeah, so as you can see, some of them actually they don't look too bad. I was thinking they might be, you know, pushed to the side a little bit, but they look kind of okay. So we have the panels in here. It's not a perfect bake. Let's try and increase this max frontal and max rear distance. And I'll do a 0.04 and a 0.04, and let's see how that turns out. Apparently it didn't really help with the bolts, which I'm a little bit disappointed. I mean, some of the bolts turned out okay, but some of the other ones look pretty bad. Yeah, I'm definitely not happy how that is turning out. Let me duplicate this and move to 3. try and bring them down a little bit below the surface. Oh, that completely made them disappear, but not all of them, which is very strange. You know what? Let me try something. On this layer. I'm wondering if I triangulate this mesh, if that might be causing our issues. Low poly. Oh, that is quite unfortunate why it's working so poorly. It almost looks like they're, I'm wondering if the normals are facing the proper way. Seems so. The normals seem to be facing the correct way. Hmm. That is so strange. Let me try to do a bacon blender for the normal, though doesn't really come out okay. Oh, well, I think... No, I was hoping that this might be the problem with placing, but... I doubt that is it. Whoa, so I don't know what was going on. Even, I'm actually quite happy how the Bake from Blender turned out. I was thinking it might look terrible, but it's not so bad. So let's save this as image, and this is going to be floor normal, and we'll use this. And I'll figure out what was going on with Substance Painter later. Okay, so in Substance Painter, let's bring in. I actually have my shelf to the side, so I'll bring it right there. Okay, let's go to textures. And let me just go to that folder and bring in the normal and ID map. Let's see, where were we? Man, I forgot what I saved this. Save as image. Okay. Sci-fi. There we go. So for an ID, let's drag him in here. Okay, so we have the normal. Put the normal here, which there it is. And let's do the ID in here. And let's bake the other textures that are gonna help applying the wear maps. And I can probably keep this at 0.01. I'm hoping that the ambient occlusion is gonna bake okay. I'm not sure why it didn't. Okay, let's bake that. That time worked good because it's also based. Well, I thank you so much, Substance Painter. Well, I guess that wasn't such a good advertisement for them. Alright, so let's do a new. You know what I'm starting to think it is with all these software companies? It's this agile workflow development. I think it's a bad idea, to be honest with you, because yeah, it introduces features, you know, quickly and such, but it introduces bugs just as quickly. So yeah. Okay, so we have the normal, which seems to work nicely. Let's bake the other textures and hope it won't crash. And since we have the normal already there, we don't need to add the high poly. Don't crash, don't crash, don't crash. Thank you. And there we go. So now let's throw in some materials. This is where the fun part comes in. Okay, so I love the metals for this. I actually have one that's really nice that I like, and it seems to work nicely on a bunch of you know, the techie stuff. Alright, let's what did I want to do? Oh yeah, my apologies. I wanted to bake this at using anti-aliasing. So this is going to take a little bit longer, so hang in for a little bit. It does help a lot with the quality of the bake. it does take a little longer to bake it. So I'm probably going to use this for the bolts. Yeah, so I don't know if you can tell, but I mean I can tell on my end there's definitely a change in the quality of it. Alright, so let's add a mask with color selection, and we'll pick our bolts, which are those. And let me show you this panel. Excuse me. And actually I wanted to put this down in this half here, like so. Okay, so now that we picked the color, we want to adjust the tolerance. So I normally just keep it the tolerance up to 1 and the hardness down to close about to 0. Okay, and let's do a painted steel, which this one works pretty nicely. There's a couple of options that come by default, and there's also Substance Share that you can get a bunch of these textures. That's where I got those. And actually, let's try this one. I've never tried this one texture here. And actually, I like that. That's sci-fi-ish looking thing. Okay, and we'll do some kind of steel for the pipes. And I like this steel scratched. So let's do that. And actually, that fits in pretty nicely over the whole floor. And for this one, let's add a black mask, and we can select with this one you can select actually just parts of the mesh. So in my case, the pipes. There we go. So that's pretty much it. I mean, you can go in, and of course this orange painted robot is interesting, but I think this grunge map is a little bit this mass builder has a little bit too much of too much grunge, I think. I don't know if I like this them. Let's see, we can there. That's better for that. And let's do another one just like this that will so we can throw a little bit of variety as far as the color of the grunge, like that. And you know, we can play around with the roughness to make certain areas of the grunge, you know, maybe like so. So there we go. It's sort of sci-fi, you know. And you can always use Substance Painter, and I don't think I like, there's a little bit too much wear on these edges. So we have this, we have that. I actually think this should be some kind of steel underneath to show what was under the but without, this is a little bit um, the height is a little bit too much, so let's bring that down. That's about right. I mean, normally these metal surfaces, they're sprayed, they're not, hand painted, so you don't get, globs of paint whenever the paint starts dripping off. Alrighty, so that's that, and since it's steel, we can probably make it a little shinier like that. And that actually turned out quite okay. Um, I think I'm still have a little bit too much. I think that works a little better that way, like so. Okay. And let's throw some dirt on this to help out. Show where the panel lines are. Okay, let's go in here, make this maybe a little darker. There, and maybe a little rougher too. Let's see if we can, that's a little bit too much. It's too much grunge. There we go. One of the issues with the dirt is that some of it gets applied in here a little bit too much, and I don't know how much I like that. Let's make it a little lighter maybe. There, I think that would work. Alright, so we spent about an hour and a half, completion to inception, so to speak. And I'm just noticing something here that it's not that I don't like it, but I think it could be a little better maybe. And I'm not sure how this is I thought it was somewhere in the grunge. It seems like it's a little bit repeating too much, like this, that. And I'm not sure if it's the scale. Oh, apparently, is it the scale? Yeah, apparently it's the scale. Okay. I'm not entirely very happy with this mask builder option, not that I'm not, but I mean, people have options. So you know what? Let's add a fill in here because I'm more comfortable with fills, and we'll move this down like so, and let's look for an interesting looking, grunge map in. No, sorry, it's in the procedurals. And let's see, we have quite a few options. This is actually scratches, so let's give this a shot. Yikes, that's kind of terrible. Let's try doing an invert, and it's not so terrible anymore. Though, yeah, you know what, I could live with this. We already have this guy, and yeah. Then we have the scratches guy here. And then we have the pipes. Let's go ahead and let me save this first because I can see it crashing right now. Floor 2. I'll go here into Blender and export the final 2, 3, and 4. Export the final one that has the pipes on each side. So let's select these pipes here, and we'll alternate them a little bit. So maybe let's rotate this 180, and rotate this 180, and let's try and switch between these two. Okay. Oh, I think I went a little bit too far with that. That's about right. Let's export this as the final away from object. And let's bring it here and see how it looks. Hopefully it looks okay. There we go. Well, so far so good. I think as you can see, the wear map or the dirt, it's not placed where it's supposed to. So I'm guessing when I move these around, probably didn't get aligned properly, as you can see. So what I'll do, hey Coaster. Yeah, so what I'll do, I'll just yeah, see, this is one of those times that I should have just placed these lines against here, and not go with it like that, because now it's kind of a mess. So oh well, my bad. Well, I'm not really teaching Substance. I'm just doing a stream, and Substance Painter is involved to texture things. So no. But it is part of the stream, if that's what you ask. Okay, so I'll have to use it like this. So now looking at this, well, I am a little bit upset because this is actually a little bit of a, not a problem, but as you can see, I didn't bake using the high poly. So what that did in the ambient occlusion, that thing looks very clean down there, so there's no way for that dirt to be applied in there. So that's my mistake, and but I'm just afraid if I use the high poly, it will not generate it properly. So here's a fix for that. we'll cheat again, and in here, and this actually should have been done from the get-go, because this is an area that you don't really see as much, and so let's cheat a little bit. Let me hide the um, hide that and delete this. Whoa, no, I said I want to delete, sorry. And let's grab this area here. Ready. And you know, one last thing that's, well, I wouldn't say bother me, but whoa, come on. I like to throw in a little bit more variation in those panels because while they look okay, you know, they're I mean, it's a little bland, I would say. So so maybe I'm not sure. Should we do the corners or the whole center or all of them? Let's try the corners first because it's already mirrored. So let's throw in a new texture for this, or a new material, sorry. And we'll do this in red. Alright, and let's select all of them. I believe this was the proper one. Yep. Alright, let's bake these textures again so we can throw a little bit of color on those corners. I think it might help. Alright, so let's save this image out. Save as image. And floor 2 ID. That's good. And let's also go here and export this. Hopefully we can cheat that dirt in here. I want a project configuration and this one. And there we go, we have some dirt showing in there. Maybe a little bit too much, but... And since we wanted to throw some color, let's do import to, yep, that's proper. And let's throw this here. And I'm wondering if I should keep the same, because you know, you're thinking, you know, if this is a hallway, this would be a little bit more traffic, this would be a little bit less traffic. So I'll keep the same. I'll start with the same one, but this one will change the color. Maybe let's do bluish kind of thing. Let's see, where do we want to be? Probably around there, like so. And the mask with color selection, and we're going to pick this red color here. And again, just to bring the tolerance up to that and the hardness down to here. And there we go. We have a little bit of, starting to look like a Rubik's Cube, but we have a little bit more color in here. Maybe we'll do that. We'll do this as maybe like a whitish color. That looks good, I would say. Let's do the levels for this, you know, bring it lower, as well as these scratches. There. Okay, well, So that will probably be, let's see how it looks in iRay. Whoa. Yeah, this is pretty demanding as far as processing this. Can't remember what I used to change the light position in this. Oh, there we go. Okay, so that turned out alright, I would say. Um, not not too horrible, not, you know, award worthy or something, but you know, I think it came out okay. And and again, this could be done probably quite a little bit faster once you get used to the tool. And you know, hopefully I'll get better with it. But yeah, give it a try. Unfortunately, there's no demo for it, so you'd have to kind of go on people's word on it. As far as yeah, I can do that. So so this is gonna be it for me for today's stream, guys. Thank you all for stopping by. Hopefully you learned something out of this. I'll post this video on YouTube on the YouTube channel sometime next week. So if you wanna, you know, stop by and, you know, see it again, or, you know, comment on it, whatever, feel free to do so. All right, I'm gonna sign out. You guys have a great start of the week, and we'll see you next week for the next stream. All right, you guys take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye.